Okay, we're going to go into the Palms defense. So I've done a little bit of, I don't know, what do I want to say, research, but I know how it's supposed to work, and it hasn't been. So I just kind of analyzed a few concepts that it's supposed to defend, and fuck, I've been doing everything to get it to work. Have finally got it to work. Now we're going to go over quite a few things. I'm not going to go into a bunch of reads like quarters because it's pretty complicated, really. It makes you think too much. However, I found a way that we can play it to where we play a robber all the time, and it's easy. And we'll let if we align right, the game will play the I guess the strong side the way we want it to. Okay, as long as we align correctly. So we'll get into that. I'll show you some examples of what works and what doesn't. Why we would want to use it. What are some of the holes in it? Right. Every defense has holes, so it's got strengths and weaknesses. As long as we know what we're giving up, we'll know when to use it. Okay. So the first thing I always test is how this damn thing's supposed to hinge and leverage. So one problem that it had, and I'll show you the route, it's supposed to play like, I don't want to say it, like a cover 2 almost. Or it has the possibility of playing like a cover 2. The problem is the way the game reacts, the way some of the players react, it just gets you in a bind because they react too slow. So then you got guys peeling off routes, and you're watching it and you're like, man, that coverage is broken. Well, it's not necessarily broken, it just didn't react when it was supposed to. Now it is broken, but what I mean is it was programmed, but it's just delayed. So I'll show you here. Okay, so this concept, the slot outs, all right. So the defense is the cornerback, right? If the number 2 receiver, and that's who everybody reads, number 2 receiver. So in theory, if the number 2 receiver goes vertical and number 1 goes vertical, then the cornerback plays number 1. The safety plays number 2. If number 1, and this is a 2x2 set. If number 1 goes vertical and then number 2 goes out, within linebacker distance, okay, that cornerback is supposed to jump down and rob or play like a cover 2, like a flat, right? And then the quarter safety, he would be man, but you almost got to pretend like he's playing deep half. Okay. So then I got the camera angle like this so we could kind of watch it. So the play, on both outside receivers are going deep. Both slot receivers are going out. Now, I don't know if the computer will do it, but if you're playing a human and you run this route concept, the safety is not going to get over for 1 and cover that streak without getting torched. 2, the cornerback is not going to play the out route like he's supposed to. He'll be really delayed. So the problem with it, he's really delayed, so he's not covering the out route, and he's really delayed, and if he'll get 15 yards down the field, peel off and cover that out route, and then the damn streak's wide open because the safety didn't know he was supposed to guard him because number 1 was on him for such a long distance. Damn, that's a mouthful. So we'll run a few plays. So we'll watch. Brady likes to throw to the left a lot, but watch both sides. Just watch how the cornerbacks react to the out routes. Okay, right there. Now, you might think that he reacted because the ball was thrown here on the left. Watch it. So that cornerback As soon as that guy goes out right there, he's supposed to go down. Okay? Even on the right side, he's reacting way too late. See how far they've traveled with the receiver? All right. He even turned his head, but trust me, he's gonna if you're playing a human about right in there, that's when he's gonna break off, and then that other guy's wide fucking open. All right. So I'll see if I can fuck with Brady here real quick.
Gold 50.
Yeah, he's throwing underneath. Bastard. Let's see if we can get him to go deep, though. If he don't, I'm going to do something with the controllers, and then I'll show you. It's important you know. See right there? Boom. Now, he picked it off, but watch. Okay. So, for one, watch that cornerback on the left. He is, as soon as that wide receiver goes out with that linebacker depth, he's supposed to go charge, which he kind of did, I guess. But he's way too deep. And the safety's reacting late. Okay, now partly I'm not supposed to be guarding that anyway with my guy, but I did. But look on the right side. Look at Norman on the right side. Look when he reacts. He's way the fuck down there. Okay. Now part of the problem is the safety doesn't know who he's supposed to guard at that point. Okay. He thinks the cornerback's got him. Oh shit, he doesn't have him. Now really, now focus on the right side, not where the ball's thrown. But look. It's just fucking terrible. Torched. That's why I think the coverage is broken, and it is the way we run it. So we'll do that one more time. I don't know why he's throwing that. I'm trying to guard it so he won't throw it.
Wait, that 53! Alert!
Brady. Cocky bastard.
Wait, that 380! Gold bandit!
It wasn't bad, I guess, but...
Wait, that... Wait, put it!
Let's watch it run a few more times.
Check it, reload!
Okay, right there. So he's not guarding shit, okay?
Wait, that...
That's not how the coverage is supposed to work. So you can see I can get you in trouble. So for one, he's not guarding what he's supposed to. See how he's going deep with him? He's not supposed to do that. Alright. Okay, so... And I'm going to show you a bunch of things so you understand the limitations of this coverage, but when we want to use it. So the next thing I wanted to test was, I'll just say, well, I'll come out and I'll press it. Okay. So when it pressed, it worked okay. But the problem with the press is we can't really cover the four verts. And I guess there's no four verts in that son bitch. Okay. So if you press with the palms, you can't really defend this four verts. You just get torched on the outside. Normally you do. Now they do get a nice bump. They'll get beat on the outside.
Hey, gold 66.
And this isn't like the cover 3 where you can audible or you can hot route not to get torched.
Wait, that 380.
All right. There he's torched. Both of them were. And even if you got speed, they can get torched off the line with a quick throw. So I'd say 1 out of 2, 1 out of every 3 times, one of them's going to get beat. See Norman on the right. He's beat. He's beat too. That was a decent throw. Touchdown. Okay, so we'll go over this one. We'll show you one more. Torched. Fucking torched. Okay, so remember our rules. We always have to fill our gaps. We cannot allow the four verts to hurt us, and we got to always contend with the wheel routes. So every defense that we call has to do those three things, right? Stop the run, prevent the wheel routes, prevent the four verts from hurting us, and do the coverage that it's supposed to do. So that won't defend the four verts, but it will do this. It will go back and look at the original play we were trying to stop. Slot outs.
Wait, set 29. Alpha. Regular.
Okay, now watch.
Wait, set.
See, now he peeled off, right? See how he peeled off? Played it perfectly. Or damn near perfectly. That's exactly how he's supposed to play it. It's a trap play, right? Now you can see how it hinges like a cover two, right? What's also nice, why we want, and I'll show you this, some strengths of it here in a little bit. But that's pretty cool how that defense will turn into a cover two if it's played right. Okay, you still got a lot of pressure in the back, right? But if your safeties play it right, they got leverage. But the thing is, we can't press because of the four vertical threat. It's not worth taking the risk. Okay, it's nice to have a trap coverage, but it's just not worth taking the risk. So here's what we do. So we have a rule that we have to follow. Okay. The rule is anytime that you see a slot receiver and a split end, okay, anytime you see that, you have to base align. That's the rule. Okay, just that subtle movement changes everything. So the cornerback's aligned a little bit different, okay, but it makes the defense hinge the way it's supposed to.
Let's go, Ash. No, 66.
All right. Now he didn't make stop so much, but it worked
Wait,
perfectly.
Wait, Eddie.
Base align it.
Alert.
Now sometimes he'll go down and pick that or jar it loose. Okay.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
Part of the problem too is you're not getting the jam from the slot on that side. That's probably the only. That's the one bad thing about base aligning on the right side.
53.
Now, if you had a dime quarters, it would probably hinge correctly against a spread set like that. Okay. So look at the left side. It works perfectly.
Alpha.
Oh, shit. Here, let's do this. Just to show you my point. Dimes align the way they're supposed to against spread formations. They don't have a linebacker that's going to base align way inside.
Wait, set. 380.
So we base align. Well, I guess it does. Shit.
72.
Alright. Never mind. But you see my point, though. You see how it plays? It plays on the right because you're getting that jam. Okay? Watch the right. Jam, then Thorman will come off. They'll play it correctly. And even throwing this one, he's not going to get any yards from it. Okay. Alright. And we don't want to move guys around to give our hand away. Just, you're not going to see that formation a lot. You're just not. But you see my point. If we base a line when you have two wide receivers, right, it plays it correctly. So we'll call palms, and then we'll call let's do this. Just show you real quick. So this is one good thing palms is good for is the drags.
Wait, set. Wide 20.
Okay. Watch how it hinges the drags.
Hey, check it.
Pretty good. Now, once I tell you how we're going to play this later, I just want you to watch the coverage. That's all I want you to watch. So it hinges and it'll out leverage those drag routes. Works pretty good. Not fucking great. Now there's a few that'll get you, but I mean that's football. Depends on the formation and the route concepts over the top of it. And I'm not going to go into each read because the way we're going to use it, we don't even, it's just too fucking complicated. It really is to explain. The part of it is the coverage changes depending on the offensive formation, whether guys are, you know, spread or they're tight. There's a lot of different rules into it. It's actually fairly complex. They've done a really good job programming it, except for that you got to fucking base align it. But maybe it's just a little hidden quirk in there, right? Maybe it's for the guys that know you're supposed to do that. Fuck, it's a really good D. And if you don't know you're supposed to do it, you're going to get killed. But anyway, see how that hinges? It's a little out. Even the drags coming across, they're covered. We'll just run a few more.
Wait for the head. Check it.
And they give up some there, but that's, you know, it depends on the concepts they got.
Wait, set. Alabama, 380. Wait for the head.
And I'll say this too. Formations that are really now not formations that are necessarily tight, but formations that have tight ends on the line, they don't cover very well. But if it's like a bunch or tight slots, it does great. But a goal line type formation, it's not going to cover the mesh very well. It fucks it up. However, again, when I show you how we're going to play it here in a little bit, I don't even want to get there yet because I want to show you how the defense works. We'll be able to defend that too. Just a couple more. So this will be the last one we'll show you.
Shadow.
Just how it covers the drags. Not bad. I want you to take note of something here too.
Wait, set.
See how it was covered? Okay, see how it was covered? Virtually everybody's pretty much covered. Except that guy. Right? But still. You're going to get picks from it. Alright. So now we're going to go into our rules. Alright. Now there's one other thing I want to test. Um, show you. Then we'll get to the good stuff. For a specific concept here. Might have to use that one, I'm not sure. Nope, I don't got what I want. What I want is a an out and a post. But we'll see if we can make one of these work. We'll try smash corner, see what that does.
Wait, set. Wide 80. 319 set.
No, it didn't work. Okay, so anyway, this coverage can make it wig out a certain route concept. Now what I don't know is I don't YouTube cover 4 beaters. I know they can't beat our cover 4 quarters. Okay, I know it can't because the way we play our safety position, we don't allow that. You know, the way we make our reads, it can't hurt us. Palms, it can hurt you because your safeties aren't real great at defending the corner route or the 7 route, right, from a slot receiver. So that's, you're going to be vulnerable to that. So just think of, here, we'll see. Here, I'll show you. I know what I can do. Yeah, this will work. I can find it. There we go. Okay, so don't really have one. Hitch corners might work.
Wait, set. Wait, 80.
So watch on the left.
Hey, 66.
No, it didn't. Now, for one thing, watch.
Wait, 20.
Watch. For one thing. Yeah, it did okay. Okay, see up on the right side, even though that guy was in, that safety's going to get beat. Yeah. By that tight end out. I didn't base align it either.
Hey, Alabama, Alabama.
Okay, never mind. It's not showing me what I want, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it. Okay, so now we're going to go to the rules. Okay, there's basically 2 rules that we got to follow when we. Well, there's more than that, but in regular play, but if we're not in the red zone, here's the rules. And I just picked the wrong quarters. Shit.
Wait, set. 53.
Okay. We will go with random play. Here's the rules.
380.
Anytime you see a bunched or tight formation, we do not have to base a line. You can play it as is. Okay? So this coverage right here, we can play it as is. And I know how you've been playing this, but what we want to do is we want to be on the safety away from having to make all those reads, because the game will do it on its own fine. Okay. There's a couple reasons. For one, we can really play the run aggressive on this safety. All right. 2 is we're in a much better position to play a robber. And the reason you want to play a robber is because of the route concepts on the left. If they come over to the right, you might have to guard some of those guys. Because is the chart I gave you earlier in the year, the month, right? When there is a 3 receiver side, that cornerback on the left has number 10 man to man if he goes across the field. So he's not going to be able to guard him. So you're going to have to rob that. We can also rob under number 1, right? And we can also rob some of the out routes, because that corner on the right, let's say the number 11 there, Edelman, if he did an out, that corner is not going to cover that very well. So we can go rob that too. Alright, so we play the run aggressively, and we just play as a robber over here. Also, number 11, let's say any tight, I'll call it split from the offense. So you see the tight end on the line of scrimmage, or the, not tight end, but the slot on the left side. If he ran a streak, the way that it leverages, he could be open, unless you're using that guy. Or no, it's the tights. I'll forget I just said that. It's the tight formation that does that. But anyway, we wanted to. I'm rambling here. Sorry. We just want to play as the robber. Okay. So the rule is play the guy opposite. Okay. The twins or trip side. Okay. And if there's any type of bunch, you don't have to do anything to it. Just play it.
53 Linda!
And I can't play from that camera angle, so.
Wait, set! Wait, 20!
Okay, so now it's a regular formation, so you got a baseline. Okay. And I'm going to play as a robber here. So a couple things I'm looking for is that tight end. If he comes straight at me, I'm going to have to guard him. Okay. If he goes up the field, 7 to 10 yards and goes out, that corner might have problems guarding him. I might want to rob that. And you might have to help out the wheel route. If that running back takes a wheel route, you might have to have that help this guy out, cover it. Because he's going to lose that battle with that running back probably about, 15, 20 yards down the field. The other thing the robber has to watch is, let's say the far right receiver, if he comes across the formation, remember when there's a trip side, that cornerback's got him man to man. Okay, he might lose him in man to man coverage. So we're playing the run aggressive. We're playing a flat foot read, just like you're supposed to. Then we just play a robber position.
Alert!
Now, that route you just saw,
Wait, set! Wait!
okay, on the right side, that's something you might be giving up, a flood concept. Now quarters will pick that off, the palms won't. The palms will pick off a drag, or not a drag, a dig, and the quarters won't. Okay, makes sense? So flood concept, you want quarters. A deep dig concept, you want palms. But at least we know what we're giving up and taking, right? It's pretty locked up, though. A lot of people don't run floods this year because, well, they won't on us because we'll run quarters a lot anyway. So here you would base a line because of the guys on the right side. Okay. So now we know they'll play it correctly, and then we're playing a robber on this side. Okay. So basically our cover 2 rules, or cover 4 rules on the right, if it's got an attached tight end.
72!
Just plays the robber. I didn't rob there. He's coming right at me.
Wait, set! Round 80! Round
Okay, we don't
80.
do anything. I'm going to play on.
20 hit!
Come down, play the run hard. If it does not a run, play underneath number 1, so I don't have to do anything on this, right? There's no twins or trips. Just leave the palms as is. Might want to check my run gaps so I don't over pursue. Okay. Okay, so base align because of the left side of the formation. Makes sense.
Sugar, sugar.
That's good.
Wait, that.
You don't have to do anything here. So this formation, okay, this is the one you got to watch. So we're going to play opposite the 3 wide receiver side. So we always want to be on this guy, mainly because this guy's in so far. So we want to kind of help out. Okay. Now, if one of those guys on the right runs a streak, you're going to have to cover that. And if you don't, let's say you're on this guy and they do that, you can't count on the computer to leverage it, right? He's going to get torched. He's going to let him run right by him. Okay?
Rip.
All right.
Wait, that. 53.
Now this, I'm going to come over here. Just play as is.
Gold 50.
All right.
Wait, that. 29.
Base
Alpha.
line. Plays this guy.
Wide 20 hut.
See how he's going to go over and rob that
Wait, that.
comeback route.
Wide 80.
Don't have to do anything. Now look at the right though. Okay. There's a lot of open space if they run something over there, so you got to be ready to rob that stuff.
Wait, hut. Wait, that. Wait, 20.
Got a base line.
Alert.
I didn't rob very well. Shit. Okay.
Wait, that.
They caught me napping, didn't they? So this concept here, got to help rob that because, you know, safety cannot, they can't guard fucking posts or corner routes unless you manually do it. Okay. That's my fault. I gotta help him out. So think of it almost as a kind of a cover 2, but kind of a cover 3 as well. So we would have to base a line. Quarters, our corner reads on this side.
Gold bandit.
There we go.
Wait, that. Wait, 20.
Another reason you don't want to be this guy against the trips, I'll show you. I'll show you why. This right here. Where's my play at? There we go. Nope. There it is. Right here. So watch how they cover. First of all, we'll cover it like we think we're supposed to. So when we're in quarters, we're going to read number 2, right? Now why this is hard in palms is because if they run a different, I got the 4 verts in there, but if they run a different route concept, you got different fucking rules. So if they run a streak on the right and that guy does an out, right, like I showed you at the beginning, you got to cover the guy on the far right down the sidelines. However, if they're running a 4 verts from this formation, you're going to end up if I could happen to guard the tight end, number 83. So first of all, I'll show you how we would. This is how it gets you in trouble. I would.
Jacket, reload!
So I'm going to guard this guy. Now, two things. I don't think you can always count on that tight end on the right being covered like he was on that play. You can in this particular formation, I guess. But a lot of times he'll be wide open. So the problem you got is when it's a trips like that, that slot defender on the right will cover that slot receiver vertical. It's possible he might get torched if he doesn't match up on the speed. Okay. So if you're running a you're running a big nickel like we are, and I don't really have, I got a slower guy in there, you want some speed there just in case you encounter this. So now we'll just let the computer play it.
Hey, goal 66.
Just like that. So you saw how the computer safety on that side had to cover that number 3 receiver, right? Number 83, watch him. So he's got to follow him. Well, that's too much for us when we're in quarters to make that kind of read, right? Depending on the route combinations from Palms. For remember the first plays I showed you, it's too much. Now, so how we counter that is we base the line for 1, and we just rub. That's all we do. Okay?
Round 80. Round 80.
So hopefully I've went into why we do what we do. Hopefully that makes sense. You see you got a 4 lock palms. Couple things with this. I like it. But again, you got to follow the same rules. So if you want it to hinge right, you're going to have to base a line. Okay. And you can play any guy you want, really. I don't think it really matters. You just got to remember if the guy on the right is an out within linebacker depth, and that cornerback will jump that route, so you're going to have to cover the streak on their outside. Now it's a decent press coverage, right? But you got to protect yourself over the top. But it changes this guy's zone, so you won't get a jam. Okay, that's the only problem. It's a good aggressive run defense, though. Okay, but it's still got Palms concepts. So here you wouldn't have to do anything. You can play with whoever you want. You could probably play this guy, but
Let's go on. No, 66.
But there's certain routes that can get you in trouble. You just got to be conscious of what you're doing. That's a trap play. Okay, so here's the other thing I want to show. Well, I got to pick the play first. Here's something else I want to show you. So we're picking that defense to trap with. We could take away a lot of the mesh or drag concepts. We can take away the inside breaking routes. Right? It does pretty well with handling bunch formations. Okay. Let's go random. So respot the ball. So depending on our corners, we'll just say the red zone right inside the 20.
Wait, set. Wide 80.
Okay. We're not going to worry too much about base aligning now. Now we can, but I think when they're in the 20, we can just go ahead and press this thing. Okay. Maybe the 25, but I think you can get beat over the top. Still want to play our robber. Okay. Just leave it as is. Just press once you're inside the 20.
Alert. Wait, set. Wait, 20.
Just press. What are you looking for, right? You're looking to rob something to the outside, maybe. And that slot coming right at, or a streak coming right at you. And then those guys crossing. If they beat their man across the field, robbing one of those routes. You're playing really downhill on the run. Oh, you fucker. Come on. Gotta let me have that. So we press.
Alpha.
Got your alpha, buddy.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
Press. Just show you a few of these.
72.
Plays a robber. Nice pick. Okay. Great red zone coverage.
Wait, set.
Don't have to do anything except press. Because it'll handle the... You can't get beat by the 4 virtually. Makes sense? Handled that wheel route from the slot pretty good. You see my robber, I had to see where I was. I'm the safety on the right. Just hold my position, waiting. Now that outside guy could have maybe got beat over the top. Norman. That was a streak. That's something you got to watch. All right. I'll do one more.
Hey, check it.
Okay. Now, one thing I don't like
Wait, set.
is this. So from the 20, let's see how it does at the 6. At the 4, I know it
Wait, set.
sucks.
Wait, 20.
So we can press it or we can not press it. You don't really want to press bunch too much, but
Hack, hack.
what's nice, it'll leverage all those crossing routes, right?
Wait, set. Wide 20. Wait, and hit.
Okay. Now you saw it right there. Watch.
Wait, set.
So the 6-yard line's okay. But see that? So I was talking about earlier. See that tight end on the left, number 83? That corner's not going to take him. So you own that. If they run straight up from that kind of a alignment, you got to watch them coming at you, regardless of what formation they're in. Okay. Got to be aware of that.
Check it.
All right. So they're playing that tough. But now I want to show you something that changes. If we go on the other side of the 5 to the 4,
Wait, set. 380.
even though you think you'd want to cover 2, this defense just gets torched
Wait, 20 hit.
in the pass game. Especially in the back of the end zone.
Wait, set. Alabama.
You're
380.
at this distance.
Shadow.
See? I don't know what it is.
Wait, set.
He got beat on the zig, but it's just terrible. Just terrible. Let's see if I can see what that play was. Alright, let's do this. Do a few things. And again, I just want you to understand the pros and cons of this thing. Okay, there's the path zig, I think is what they just ran. Okay.
Wait, set 29.
So we'll press it. Of course, it's automatically pressing because it's that close. So it kind of did it on its own.
319 set.
Everybody's getting beat. Okay.
Wait, set.
The zig got beat last time. The slant got beat this time. Okay. Plus, see how they're inside the 5, everybody's pressing. So let's do this. Let's go here to the 6.
Wait, set. Wait,
Yeah,
20.
they're still pressing. But let's see how they handle that dig route. Or that zig route on the right.
Hey, 66.
Yeah, not great. Let's do this.
Wait, set.
In previous Maddens, the 10-yard line was
Wait,
the
set.
signal
Wait,
stuff.
20.
Yeah, okay. See right there, the 10. See how they're back off? Okay. We can even press them if we want, but they backed off when
Hey,
you're on the 10.
Alabama.
We'll see if they leverage this a little different.
Wait, set. 53. 53, Linda.
Yeah, he's not throwing it to the right. I want him to throw it to the right like he did.
Wait, set. 380.
Put this guy in a spy. Maybe that'll screw that read up.
Alert.
See, he played it better. Okay.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
So we're pressing him at the 10.
72.
It's just different. Okay.
Wait, set. Wide, 20.
And if we go to the 9, they should automatically press.
Wait, set.
Yep.
Round 80.
So the 9-yard line, anything past the 10-yard line, they will automatically press. So, sounds crazy, but baseline on this side of the 10 is going to play it different.
Wait, set. 180.
A lot of rules, but if we do it right, we can fuck with them. Okay.
Ozzy. Ozzy.
See that?
Wait, set. 380.
But I don't mind pressing when you're at the
Cover,
20
cover.
there. But see, pressing just gets you trouble. Some of those routes.
Wait, set.
Baseline won't.
Alabama. 380.
And it has something to do with that fucking yard line,
Rip.
too. I mean, everybody's open. Okay. So
Wait,
now
set.
we'll do this. We'll go back. Here. Inside the 20.
Wait, set. 29.
And
Alpha.
we can press. And it should be fine.
Gold 50.
Well, that's not. But the guy on the right's fine.
Wait, set. Wide 80. Wide 20 hot.
I gave up a little, but not bad.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
We can do this. by the rule, right? Use the rule here. And play as a robber. I wasn't playing as a robber, but I just wanted to show you kind of what you're getting yourself into. I'm playing a robber here. Yeah, he's not getting any yards hardly. Makes sense. Now, another rule of thumb down here, you can do it anywhere, but when they're spread inside shade, and when they're bunched outside shade. I mean, that's the 80-20 rule, right? Oops, I didn't want to do that. There we go. We base the line based on that. Get inside shade down here. Okay. I didn't rob very well. Base line. I don't know what the hell that defense is. Sorry, this is an hour-long video. It's probably boring the hell out of you. But it's a good trap defense for us. So this you wouldn't have to do anything because it's a tight formation, or there's no slot receiver, right? And we can play as a robber. You can shade outside because it's kind of a compressed set.
Hey, goal 66.
That was a pass for some reason.
Wait, set. Round 80. Round 80.
All right, this is the type of formation where they don't guard the crossers very well, remember? So if I ever saw this, of course I wouldn't come out in this defense against that formation, but right, we'd come out in the base, but if you ever see something like that and you're in palms, just go to a quarters.
White 28.
Okay.
Wait, set. 180.
So the bunch, we don't have to do anything. Play as the robber. And outside shade.
380 head.
Bastards. This is a route though. I want you can. A lot of people don't throw it, but if you get a guy that does, the guy on the left, if he runs any kind of out route against that quarters, he's going to be open. If you ever notice that, you can go rob that if you see a tendency from that. Okay. But you see on the right side, they're playing the bunch fine, just like they're supposed to. Base line. Inside shade.
Regular.
Got him. Alright. We'll look at that real quick.
Wait, set.
This is why we don't want to be the safety on that side, because that guy's not really our guy. We got the tight end. He's got to have enough speed to handle that. That's all. All right. Okay, outside shade, bunch formation. Just plays the robber on the side.
Let's go on. No, 66.
A lot of times he'll pick that off. Again, an 80-20 rule in the shading.
Wait,
You don't have to shade. Baseline. Or press. You don't have, one or the other when you're down inside the 20. Go inside shade. I want to be on this guy, don't I?
Alert!
See, I inside shaded, but he still covered it just like he was
Wait,
supposed to.
29. Alpha.
This line, inside shade. Because you got wide guys, right?
What are you hit?
Good. All right.
Wait, set. Wide 80.
I think that's all I want to show you. Let me see if there's anything in here that'll get you. Let's look at this. Look at that slot out.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
So we baseline it to the slot out on the left. Could go or inside shading because they're spread out.
Alpha.
Okay, let's look and see what happened there.
Wait.
So that out was past linebacker depth. Okay. So the safety's going to have to take it. Okay. So if they're running outs down here, pauses at the coverage. Okay. Now, quarters, right? Quarters, we can play our own guy over the number 2.
72.
Right. So we
Wait,
can
set.
mix it up,
20.
right? Let's do this. Okay, I know what I want to show you. My bad. Let's say we want to run. What do they call this? Salem, is that what they call it? What I'm looking at? Dig concept. Yeah, I think. Just want a basic dig concept, that's all I want. This streak. Dagger. Dagger is what that's called. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Probably any of those will do, but let's look at X dagger.
Wait, set. 53.
Right, so I'm just going to show you on quarters how to play that dagger. Okay.
Hey, check it.
Well, fuck. Usually that dagger's going to be open. That guy doing the deep dig, that quarter won't come in and cover it very well.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
It's not the one I want though. It's usually from a 3x1 formation. I'll show you this and we'll shut this video down. We got one I'm looking for here. So you understand it. Okay. Come on, you gotta have one somewhere. They don't. Guess the Patriots don't run deep digs. Fuckers. Well, they really don't. It's interesting. Maybe the PA dagger, and if I pass commit, I won't get. I'm going to run quarters. I'll show you the difference between the two. No. Against a trips formation. Let's do it this way. Against a trips formation, usually. This guy here, when he runs a drag against the quarters, it's going to be wide open because that slot guy's not going to be there. Now he is against a 2x2, but against a 3x1, because he's carrying him vertically, he wouldn't be there. It's going to be wide open. Okay. Now I called palms out of the huddle. And watch the difference how palms will cover that dig route. Well, you can't see the difference because I don't have the formation I want you to see. You see that slot guy, slot cornerback? That's where he's going to park his ass in the palms. Okay. He's going to rob that. He's going to give up the outside. So palms will take care of the inside stuff, the deeper stuff, and then the quarters will take care of the outside stuff a little better. So if I run quarters, well, they're not playing it the same because of that concept. But just trust me. Patriots just don't have the route concept I wanted to show you. Alright, that's about it. So why you'd want to use it, you can play the run pretty aggressively because you're the safety on the backside, right? So you can take a few false steps and not get in trouble, right? So that's an advantage of playing palms in the run game. You can trap crossing routes with it, okay, and you can also it just changes the coverage, right? You can rob some of the quick outs with it from the slot. So it's a good change of pace. Just know how to use it and when to use it, and just add it to the arsenal of the D. All right, brother, you got any questions? Just ask. Later.